with all the oppression, we were accomplishing things far greater than the black and blacks have done. They've done very little, except bring you the teaching, the belief, because that's all teachings is. I believe. We don't need to believe no more. We need to know. If you give them this vision, it is more acceptable than talking about some separate black nation or whatever, because this is where they live. You're already here. You don't have to try to learn a new language. You don't have to try to learn a new culture. You can just be yourself. You're just an American citizen, and you're no different than the people in Utah, those Mormons, where they went and they took control of a state where everything is to their advantage, to those who are in the Mormon church. So the only thing, we're not saying that we are not Americans or nothing like that. We're just trying to do something. We're just trying to take advantage of the rights that we're supposed to have anyway. Because you're sitting around, we're waiting for these people to treat us a certain way, give us our rights or whatever, when we should now, Dr. King, Civil Rights Movement, all our ancestors have already put us in a position. Now it's up to this generation to put ourselves where we actually belong, where we don't have to ask for rights. We just take what we want because this is what should be given to us anyway. And so we take advantage of all the tools that this government gives us. So as a state, we're in a position because all states are already in a position. Every state can go out and get business from a country or a nation that the United States consider a non-threat. So you can establish, as long as that African country or that Asian country is not considered a threat to the United States, you can go out on your own and make deals and bring that commerce and trade to your state. You're already in that position. Now, as you grow stronger and stronger, and people see how good this is, of course, we will be able to go on and take control of maybe Georgia or Tennessee or some of the other southern states where we have a large populations of our people. This is more realistic than these other things because it does not interfere. You don't have to run around here and talk about black this and black. No, I'm just an American citizen looking out for our particular group, just like the Mormons or anybody else in this country have done. No more, no less. So they cannot say that what we're doing or what you're doing is some type of domestic terrorism, because the success of Mississippi is really the success of the United States. And you are still under the protection of the United States as long as it exists.
Yes.
But also at the same time, the leadership, you having just like you said, brother, we have a longer term vision where we're looking at all these scenarios. What if the United States is conquered? What if something else changed? So we want to put ourselves in a position where now we're not just 1000% helpless. We are putting ourselves in a position of where we can defend ourselves to the best of our ability. Right now, we're just at the mercy of anybody. Anybody can do anything they say. They don't have to worry about getting hurt. They can just do whatever the hell they want to us. But with this here, you putting yourself, because we don't have access to grenade launchers and tanks. The National Guard has access, and even some of these police departments have access to tanks, grenade launchers, all kinds of stuff. We don't have access to none of these different things. You put yourself in a position where you can control water, you can control the gas, you can control the utility company, you can tell them what they can and cannot do. You're in a position to put your program into action. And when you show people that these programs work and they are successful, it's not a black thing, because I guarantee you, governors of other states will say, what they doing in Mississippi? Let's try that ourselves. I'm telling you that this is way bigger than what you think it is. You and I can be the examples, since you claim that you're God, since you claim that you're a king, you got all this wisdom, then you show the world how we're supposed to do. But you don't have that kind of mindset. Your mindset is just like the oppressor. That's your main problem. You're thinking like the oppressor. You're not thinking outside the box. You're thinking like the idiots from ancient times. Why would you want to be like them? You see what happened to them. We're supposed to learn from history so that we don't make the same mistakes that they've done. But the way we hear or how we listen to these talk, they're talking no different than the oppressors and the conquerors before our time, and we see what happened to them. Why would you want to try to copy and be like them? You should want to be different. You should want to do different things. You should want to be a better example. So I don't see no other vision. I don't see no other strategy, no other plan that the masses of the people would find more acceptable than this, because it really don't change our current life. You don't have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to believe in Allah. You don't have to. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Your life don't change. You can just do what you. The only thing you're slowly doing as a group, you understand that you're looking out for your particular group to put us in a better position. No more, no less. We're not asking you to convert you to Islam or go to church every Sunday. Nobody asking you to do none of this. It's just simply putting this group of people in a position so they can take advantage of the rights and the privilege that they're supposed to have anyway under the Constitution of this United States. No more, no less. Now, as time goes on, probably when we're dead and gone, then these other things will make themselves manifest. But you get your children, because we have this long-term vision, you teach those who will be living in that future time what since I'm not going to be there, I can only guess, but you tell them, give them an idea, this is what you need to prepare for. This is what you need to do if you want to survive. Because if you don't do these things, everything that we're doing don't mean nothing, because the inevitable result still going to be our extinction. We're doing this not to die. We're doing these things, we're participating in these activities so that we can live. And they have to understand those things so they can continue. One thing that must be understood, we are the sacrifice generation. See, there are many who want to experience the fruits of everything while they live. That's cool. But that's not for us. We are the sacrifice. We have to make the sacrifices. Like the forefathers of this nation. They took the hit, the real hit. None of these people suffered like the original colonists of this country. They ain't nobody here suffered like that. But and many of those who suffered did not get to enjoy the fruits of the United States of America. They died on the battlefield. We are the soldiers. We are those who are supposed to die on the battlefield. We're the ones that make the sacrifices. We're the ones that got to suffer so that they can be better. If you're not willing to do that, sit your happy ass down. Understand that you will die doing this. But if you don't understand that you selfish and only think about what I want, and that's all I hear with what I want. It ain't about what you want. It is what is in the best interest of your children. I didn't make no children. You made the children. So really, I can sit back in the cut and don't have to do a damn thing. You made these children. So if you made these children and you claim that you love them, then you need to sacrifice for them so that their life can be much better than what we're going through. Just like we are doing better than how Dr. King and all those others before us doing because of their activity. So now it's our turn. The baton has been passed to this generation. And what's so sad is that we're the generation, instead of making the sacrifice, we're the generation that's dropping the baton. And for me, that's really, really embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Because you talk a good game, and that's all that you can bring to the table really is talk. And I'm not a talker. You know, just like the brother said yesterday, it's about winning. And you don't want to win. You don't want to win because you're too much. You're too selfish and you're too involved in what you want. It ain't about what you want. We know that the masses of the people aren't going to accept Islam or being a Hebrew Israelite or being a Christian. The majority of people are not going to do that.
And to add on that, if these people who wanted a separate land or separate nation, independent, here in America, what would be the religion? Can you imagine that nation with a bunch of crazy ass Nation of Islam members and Hebrew Israelites running around killing each other in gang wars all day? Can you imagine that? What would be the religion of that country? If we can't coexist in our own neighborhoods here, how could we coexist if we had our own country?
Exactly. And this is another thing, a point. It's thousands of these people with this mindset. It's thousands, not maybe even a million or two or whatever. It's thousands. And they talking about what's going to happen when the white man fall or whatever. You ain't doing nothing now. You can't even unite yourself. If you can't, what have you done since 2010? We don't even have to talk about go back to 1960. I'm talking about it's thousands of y'all giving your money to Farrakhan. You're giving your money to Umar Johnson, giving your money to Tahaka Bay and Tariq Nasheed and Sonetta. You're doing all these different things and Pastor Ray Hagan. You're giving all your money to all these people or whatever. Since 2010, all these people with this mindset, you cannot even unite among each other. You get angry at me, you'll call me Uncle Tom or a Sambo or whatever. But you can't even get along with people who think the way that you think. You can't even get along.
Yep. So, and like you said, when they call you a Sambo and a coon and all that, what they're really saying is, hey, if I was in control, I'd have you taken care of. That's what they're really saying. Exactly. That's what happened. That's what would happen.
Exactly. That's so their mindset is no different than the oppressor. You just going from one slave plantation, like we say here, you just go from one slave plantation to another. You got a different massa, but this massa is more acceptable to you because my massa black now. That's the only difference. But that black massa is no different than the white massa. So you still lose. We don't win. But it's thousands of these people, and they can only do diddle daddle, little fiddly diddly stuff. A little group do a little something here, a little group do. It's thousands of you. Why you can't come together? All of you are black and you proud, and you want your separate nation. They have not accomplished nothing. And we don't have to go way back in time. 2010 to 2024, what is that, 14 years? What have they accomplished? Do they have a neighborhood? Do they have a city? We know they don't have a state. They don't have nothing. But all of a sudden, if the Caucasian people come out of power, all of a sudden everything's just going to fall in place. That's not how life works. Because if you're not doing nothing now, if you can't get yourself together now, when basically there is no chaos like that, you damn sure not going to do it when there's mayhem and chaos.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I hear a lot of people, when people be talking about like the global affairs and wars and stuff, I think it's crazy to hear some black people when they, some of our people, when they say, yeah, I hope the Russians do take over. I hope the Chinese do take over, or the Middle Easterners, they gonna come here, they gonna bomb all the white people. Now listen to that. If anybody take over that country, You think they gonna go around and say, hey, I see you're black. We're not gonna mess with you. We just gonna kill all the white people. Do you really think that's what they're gonna say? They gonna take care of you too, fool. Every American. You don't get no leeway just because you black. You gonna get taken care of with everybody else. If they throw a bomb over here, the bomb is gonna hit everybody, not just white people. It's gonna hit white people, black people, everybody over here. They don't see no difference. An American is an American to them. I don't know why they think that if something bad happens to America, that somehow means it's gonna end up good for them. I don't understand that.
Well, 9/11 was an example. Didn't black people die in 9/11?
Yep. All those black people died in 9/11, but they want to say, oh, well, yeah, the America was wrong. So, yeah, they was right for doing the 9/11. But black people died in 9/11.
Yeah. And didn't they just kill 3 American soldiers?
Yeah.
All of them was black.
Yeah, all the American soldiers that got killed was black. But they were saying that, but before, some of these people, they was rooting for the Middle East. Oh yeah, they should destroy some of these military bases. Well, they tried to, and it was all black. Now what? And these people see
like
these people
here.
These people see an American is an American. They don't see white American, black American. An American is an American. And I realized that when I was travel out the country. An American is an American.
Mm-hmm.
Only once we're here, once we're in this country, do we then, divide with, all the racial structures in this country. Only then. But outside of here, to everybody else, an American is American.
Exactly. I don't understand. Well, actually, I do understand, because at one time, I thought the same way. I was part of that clique. I was calling people Sambos and coons.
Yeah, me too.
I was doing it too. Me too. So it's not like I don't understand. I understand exactly where they're coming from. So because I was there, I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, I used to be rooting for the Muslims, like, oh, the Muslims should come over here and take over. I don't know what the hell was wrong with my mind. I don't know what I don't know what made me think that they would spare my family or something just because we black or something. But yeah, I know what it's like.
Well, this is another problem too. Unless you show them that you're not part of that, that's the only way they could begin to determine, okay, those people aren't our enemy. But at this moment in time, they know that we put on that uniform, we will go over there.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you